Hi, my name is Matt Salmon, and I am running for Congress in Arizona's Congressional District 5.
How do you feel about the EPA's use of the sue and settle tactic to take over the regional haze program in Arizona? This will cost rural Arizona jobs to be lost at the facilities that must either install costly new equipment in the name of visibility or shut down because the cost of compliance is too onerous.
That question is dealing with the EPA's desire to over-regulate the Navajo generation plant, which is operated by Salt River Project. About 98% of the water that is pumped out of the Central Arizona Project, the power to do that comes from that plant. It is a coal-fired plant, and the EPA, under this administration, would like to come in and force them to retrofit new equipment on the plant, which would cost over $1 billion and make the cost of our water go up exponentially. These are taxpayers or ratepayers that will be paying considerably more for our water prices. And what's the purpose of doing this? As the questioner asked, they are asking to put this equipment on to make it so that the emissions that come out of that plant are cleaned at a certain level that is even undetectable to the naked eye. It's not about the air that we breathe, because it doesn't really significantly improve the air that we breathe. It is about visibility, and it's a big overreach by this administration and by the environmental protection agencies. And I believe that it's a really clear picture to us of exactly what's wrong with Washington, D.C. There's no cost-benefit analysis done of these overburdensome regulations. It hurts business. Every entity in America, especially small businesses, depend upon energy costs. And we've got to do a better job in this country making sure that business succeeds and business thrives. We should also become energy independent as quickly as we possibly can and bring our energy costs down. So again, I want to say that if we want to get people working again, we've got to stop this overreach by the federal government that wants to come in and over-regulate to death businesses and power and many aspects of our economy, which are just not helpful at a time when we need to get Americans working again.
Based on the fiscal cliff our country will face if no long-term budget solution is reached by January 1st, if elected, how willing will you be to compromise with the opposite party in order to reach a long-term deal that will not only reduce our national debt, but put us back on the path to economic prosperity?
If the question regarding the fiscal cliff and asking what am I willing to compromise, the other side has made it very, very clear that what they want on the table is increasing taxes. And even President Obama has said time and time again that during this economy and the economic problems that we faced as a nation, it would be foolhardy, downright stupid to increase taxes. We want to do everything that we can to energize investment and grow jobs. And so I will do anything within my power to cut spending, because I don't believe that it's a revenue problem that we have. It's a spending problem that we have in Washington, D.C. We've had trillion-dollar deficits every year for the last 3. And right now the federal debt is over $16 trillion. We have to do everything that we can to balance that budget by cutting spending and getting rid of fraud and waste and making our federal government more accountable to us, the taxpayers.
How will you ensure fair distribution of transportation dollars and fair representation for much-needed infrastructure and resources in the state of Arizona from the federal government?
That's a really great question. I don't believe that we've done a good enough job here in Arizona making sure that we get the right, our fair share of what we're paying in taxes back to Washington, D.C. when it comes to building our transportation infrastructure. Arizona has been, for a very, very long time, a donor state. That means that we're giving a lot more in our federal gasoline taxes than we get back to build roads and highways. That's not right, but because some of the other states, like California, are getting far more than they put in. And I think that that has to change. There has to be a question of fairness, and I will do everything within my power to make sure that Arizona, when it comes especially to transportation infrastructure, is getting what we're putting into the federal government. We're not going to be a donor state anymore. I'd like to fight for that, and that is a very top priority for me.